Hi guys, I'm so happy to have you all back on my channel. My name is Ajin and thank you for sharing my videos and supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. So today I'm going to show you the easiest way to make two types of shoulder cape patterns. So if you're interested, let's get started. Now the first thing I'm going to do is to trace out my pattern on this paper. So I'm starting with the front pattern. So by now I believe you already know how to draft a basic bodice pattern, but if you don't know how to do that, I have a video on that and I'm going to drop the link in the description as well. So here I just trace the front. The first thing I'm going to do now is to mark out the collar. As you can see, the way it is on the thumbnail, the collar is attached already, but if you don't want yours to be attached to the pattern, you can also cut that out separately. So but for my own, I'll cut it out one time. So I'll just come over to this point. This is the neck width, so I'll just go up by 1 inch. This is also the same way of drafting a standing collar. So I'm just going up by 1 inch and then I will extend it. So this part depends on how high you want the collar to be. You just play with these parts. So this is it. Then I'll come over to this shoulder line on this point. I'll just mark 1/4 inch. So this is just 1/4 inch here, and then I'm going to connect from this point. I'm going to connect from this point just to touch this place, and then just blend it in to meet up back to this shoulder line. I also have a video on how to draft a standing collar. You can also check that out if you want a more detailed explanation. Now you can see that I just blended that in. This is for the front. Now to the cape, and then I am starting with the A-line shoulder cape. Like I said earlier, I'll be showing us two different types, although there are over 5 types of shoulder cape, but I'll be showing us just 2 for today. So now I'll come over to the chest line. As you can see, this is the chest line. So on this part, you decide how free you want your cape to be. So for just here, I'll be making mine 1.5 or 1.75. This is for a year old, so I don't want it too free and I also don't want it too tight. So you decide how you want yours to be. So I'll just use 1.75 is okay for this age. So I'll just mark that and then extend the line on that shoulder part. So I'll just extend it. Okay, so I'm going to connect now. From this shoulder, I will just connect to meet up to this point. So let me just start it with a dot. Okay, just to meet up to this point. Now you can see what I have there. This is the cape forming now. So on this part, like I said, it's going to be an A kind of shape. Remember here I used 1.75. So here I am going to extend it by 2.5. That is on this waist line. Okay, so here you can decide how wide, like I said earlier, how wide you want your cape to be. But before connecting now, I'll come up by say 1/2 inch. Okay, because I don't want it to touch or to reach to the waist line. But if you want yours to reach to the waistline, it's still okay. But remember that we want an A-line kind of shape on this end. So I'll just go ahead and then connect. So just mark the 2.5 here. This is the point. Then I'll now take it down from this point to that point. And you can see that it's simple. You just connect. I'm going to use my hand. From here, I'll just blend it to meet up to the point. You can see. So there's nothing much to this. You can see that the cape is formed. For the front side, the cape is formed. So I'll just take it in to meet up to the waist line. You can decide to make it straight or curve it as well. And here we have the front cape is ready. So now for the back cape, I'm going to repeat the same, but the difference now is that for the standing collar, we're going to extend it so that by the time you join both the front and the back, it's going to come out well. Now I'm going to cut this out and then trace out my back pattern. This is my back pattern, so I'll also trace it out and then show us how to do that, and then how you can just join the two together, cut, so that you will not have joining on this side after sewing. So first, let me just cut this out and then we continue. Here is my back pattern. I just trace it out. This is it. Just trace it out on this. So I'm going to repeat what I did on the first pattern by going up by 1 inch on this shoulder area. So I'll just extend it by 1 inch. Okay, every other thing is the same. So I'll just extend it by 1 inch. Then I'll connect. Okay, and then I will also extend it till I get to this edge, you know. So what I use as the back neck depth is is ½ inch. So you can see the way I am placing it now to get my 1 inch, and then I'll connect this part straight. Okay, and then I will come over to this end and use the same thing, which is 1/4 inch, and then connect it to meet up to the point. You can see that it's very easy. And then I'll also repeat, like I said, I'm using the same thing the same measurement that I use on this end and also on this hem area. So I'll just quickly do that, or better still, you can use your pattern. You can use your pattern now and place it like this. And this is the shoulder area. You can just place it to get the exact curve. The only difference with the back is just this other end. So you can just place your pattern and then cut it out. So I'll just quickly cut this out, and then I'm going to show us how to draft a shoulder cape using the circle method. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and extend it. You can see that the length of my cape, I am using the same with my body's length. So this part is up to you. If you want it to be longer than the body's length, you just extend it. Okay, so this is the line here. Now I am going to follow it now and curve it. You can see the way I am taking it until it will meet up to this other point here. So let me just use my free hand and just trace it, and when you get to this point, you just curve it till you meet up to this end. Okay, you can even free it up a bit. It all depends on what you want, and you can see that the curve is just okay. Now this particular space here, remember that we'll be cutting it off. This part you're going to cut it off, because after sewing your cape, it should tally the same with the bodies. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and trace it out. So this is it. After cutting it out, I'll just remove this, and this is the shape that I have. Now remember that this part is going to be closed, and this is what you should have after sewing. This is the shape of our cape, shoulder cape. You can see that it is very easy. So that is how to go about making these two different types of shoulder cape. Please subscribe if you have not, and I will see you all in my next video.